should wear the helmet. You should wear it.
You should wear nothing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this broadcast. We are now in Syria's northwestern province of Idlib. Idlib is actually the last major rebel stronghold in the entire country. Now we stand at the entrance of the Khan Sheikhoun town. Khan Sheikhoun is actually was a major rebel bastion in the southern countryside of Idlib. The Syrian army has started a military campaign last April to fight the ultra-radical groups, the Al-Qaeda-linked groups in this region, and the army actually advanced and kept fighting until reaching Khan Sheikhoun, this strategic place. They captured Khan Sheikhoun, which will be the launching pad for more battles, more military operations toward Idlib. In fact, this place was a bastion for the Al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front. They had many fighters here. This was like a warehouse, like a storage for fighters and guns in the southern countryside of Idlib. And capturing it was very important for the army because they managed to besiege rebel-held areas in the adjacent nearby countryside of Hama province in central Syria. So actually, the Khan Sheikhoun area was very important for the battle in Idlib and also in besieging rebel-held areas in the northern countryside of Hama as well. And the army has recently said that after capturing Khan Sheikhoun, all of the areas in the northern countryside of Hama fell to the army. The rebels were defeated. And actually, we can see several signs of the battles that took place in this area. We have destroyed the buildings on our left. We also have signs left by the ultra-radical groups, the Al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front in this place. So as we can see, we see military personnel, military vehicles still entering Khan Sheikhoun. Of course, because the army also had to clean this area from mines and explosive devices. They said that the rebels actually left a large number of mines in this area, and the army, the engineering units in the Syrian army took their part in removing them. So we were taken on this trip by the Syrian army. They took reporters from Damascus, and this is our first time here because the Syrian army captured this area, and it's the first time the army units entered it since 2012 when the rebel groups took over. So as we said, this battle, the Idlib battle, is actually very important because if Idlib is completely back under the government control, then the rebellion in Syria will be defeated. The rebel groups, the ultra-radical rebel groups, will be defeated. Of course, it's not going to be an easy battle, but the beginning of this battle, the achievements that have so far been made, they usher well in the entire campaign because this area is so important. It enabled the Syrian army to take control of the entire northern countryside of Hama and also to reach close to the main road linking the capital Damascus to Aleppo, because this road has been cut off near Idlib, and capturing Khan Sheikhoun and advancing forward will lead to the Syrian army retaking the international road that links Damascus with the northern province of Aleppo. يعطيك العافية. معلش تحكي لنا هلا انتم وين بعد خان شيخون؟
نحن بخان شيخون وان شاء الله قريبا باتجاه المعرة والنصر لسوريا عقبال ما نطهر سوريا كامله من الارهاب.
متأملين انه ادلب ان شاء الله رح ترجع؟
ان شاء الله كلياتها رح ترجع، ان شاء الله كلياتها رح ترجع والله يدمنا سيادة الرئيس.
This military soldier said that after capturing Khan Sheikhoun, the army is moving forward to capture another strategic area, which is called Ma'arat al-Naman in Idlib, which is part of the entire Idlib campaign to retake that entire province and defeat the rebellion that has been taking place for so long in this country. It's worth noting that areas in the countryside of Hama and the adjacent Idlib province are included in the de-escalation zones deal established by Russia and Turkey last September. Under the deal, Turkish observation points were set up in areas in Idlib and Hama. However, the deal failed to materialize as the Al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front rejected to withdraw and battles flared last April. Earlier this month, Russia and Turkey supervised the new ceasefire in the de-escalation zone, but it was quick to fall apart. And the battles renewed, and the army ended up capturing this strategic area in Idlib, and also capturing key towns in northern Hama countryside, because of the strategic geographic location of this town. Of course, the Syrian army has recently called for civilians, the Syrian government in general, to return to their areas after cleaning them from mines and explosive devices. So the government is exerting efforts now to facilitate the return of civilians to their homes in Idlib and northern Hama. As we were close to the road to Khan Sheikhoun, we saw that some basic repairments were made to the road so that it could be easier for people to return. For the Syrian army, actually, securing Idlib would almost deal a definite defeat to the over 8-year-long insurgency. Idlib has also strategic importance as it shares a border area with Turkey to the north. It's also close to the coastal province of Latakia, which contain a Russian-run airbase repeatedly targeted by rebels launched from Idlib. The capital city of Idlib also lies close to the international road linking Damascus with Aleppo, as we said, and around 3 million people are living in Idlib, including those evacuated from many other areas during the surrenders of rebels in other parts of the country. But in the places where battles have been recently taking place, the civilian actually fled to nearby areas, so it's expected that when this place is completely clean and empty of explosive devices and mines, people would start returning to their homes. So as we said, we were on a trip taken by the Syrian army, a trip for journalists in Damascus. So after finishing here in Khan Sheikhoun and seeing the entrance of the town, we will be taken to another area that was recently taken by the army. So we will see where we go next. Welcome back, everyone. Now we are in the town of Morik, now in the northern countryside of Hama. A little while ago, we were taken to the southern countryside of Idlib. Now we move to the adjacent northern countryside of Hama. This is the town of Morik. This is one of the strategic towns the rebels used to control ahead of the recent military campaign that ended up with the army capturing this town a couple of days ago. The importance of this place emanates from its location, actually, and also because the Turkish military has an observation point, as we can see there in the distance. That building in the far distance, it's a military observation point for the Turkish army, because under the Russian Turkish de-escalation zones deal, Turkey set up a few observation points in Idlib and also in Hama. This is one of the observation points in Morik and Hama. Actually, it has now become besieged by the army, which captured the town. There are Turkish soldiers inside, and also some of the rebel commanders who retreated after the army took control of this area, and they took shelter in that place. Of course, because Turkey was negotiating with Russia on behalf of the rebels, while Russia was negotiating on behalf of the rebels. The de-escalation zones deal that apparently fell apart because Al-Qaeda linked groups refused to retreat and refused to hand over their heavy weapons. So the battles flared up again, and the army captured this place. Now the Turkish observation point is besieged, and as we can see in the distance, maybe there will be some negotiations for the withdrawal of the Turkish soldiers from this observation point. So with Morik and other towns in the northern countryside of Hama are empty of rebels, the entire Hama province has actually returned under the government control. Now the army is moving forward in Idlib countryside in order to liberate it from the ultra-radical Nusra Front, which are linked and affiliated with Al-Qaeda. This, as we talked about Morik that we are in now, this is the residential part where we can see destruction. Of course, battles took place in this area. All of these buildings that we can see in the distance are in Morik. And this also. This is a very important, actually, achievement and victory for the Syrian army. So we have taken a glimpse, a look on these areas that were taken recently by the army in the campaign that has been dragging on since April in order to dislodge the rebels from their last major strongholds in northern Hama countryside and also in Idlib province. So the army said in a statement recently that it will continue to fight the rebels, the terror-labeled groups, until the full liberation of all of Syria. While we're here, we could still hear some bombing from a distance, of course, because all of these areas are close to one another. So the battles are not taking place so far away. So we could still hear bombings and shelling from time to time in this area.